And I am live. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. 2022 is finally here. Welcome to the final 2021 video that I'm going to be making. And that is the live stream of me ranking every single movie that I saw in the year 2021 from worst to best, which is 125 movies. That's a lot. Ranking all of them from worst to best. If you are new to the channel and you happen to join here for the very first time and you like what you see, definitely hit that like button and consider clicking that subscribe button for weekly reviews, rankings, and tons of movie content. What's going on to everybody that is here in the chat? Everybody's here. We're ready to celebrate. Cody's off to the side monitoring the chat. What's up, Cody?
What's going on, everybody? Forgot the intro, Ryan, but that's okay.
Yeah, let us know what you think of the intro, and you guys know how this works.
You forgot to add it.
No, that's okay. That's fine. I'm sure you guys love the intro no matter what. But regardless, guys, what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to re-ranking every single movie I saw last year, but I'm going to do it in segments of 10 to address the chat. Do you want to do it now or just wait till I get to the first 10?
Did you ask me a question?
I did, yes. Do you want to address the chat now or wait till...
Say who's in here. Definitely do that.
All right, we got Zachary, we got Daniel, View with the Drew, Nicholas Lloyd, everybody saying Happy New Year. What's going on, guys? Michael, yes, I am here. I was running late. I apologize, guys. Was just getting some final things set. Renard is here, Disney Nerd, Joshua Walters, Andrew DeFilippo, and yeah, we got a good amount of people here, Cody. Would you like to address people's comments now or wait until we get to the first 10?
Nope, kind of just like you said, we're going to go 10 movies at a time, and that way you guys can share your thoughts on the 10. But make sure, Ryan, people know about the videos you've already put out.
Of course, yes. I have uploaded 3 single end-of-the-year videos. My top 10 best, worst movies of 2021, as well as today I uploaded my most anticipated videos of 2022. If you have not seen those videos yet, definitely go check those out. Those were a lot of fun to make. And now the grand finale is to rank every single movie I saw in 2021. So you guys know how it goes. I'm not going to go crazy in depth, of course, with all these movies, or else we're going to be here for 5 hours long. Maybe some of the ones I haven't done a review for on my channel, I'll give you an in-depth thought on. But mostly, these are just going to be breezed right through. Because I don't want to be here forever, guys. You don't want to be here forever. So, I'm ready to go. Cody's ready to go. I'm sure you guys...
Just address Disney Nerd's question, then you can jump right in.
Of course I can. Disney Nerd. Will the final 20 movies in the 90s tournament be revealed tomorrow? Yes, you are correct. Tomorrow is the final day. We will announce the final 20 movies of the 90s decade tournament. Thank you for that question, Disney Nerd. So, we're going to get right into it, guys. What?
Disney Nerd's comment, the last one.
Was that a jab at Sean's 5-hour stream?
No.
No, it was not a jab at Sean's 5-hour stream. No, he's doing fine for himself. It was just, I'm sure you guys don't want to be here forever. There's 125 movies to rank here. So,
Michael, we will get to that movie once it's there.
Yes, we will get to that movie. It is on here. So,
all right, Ryan, I think you can get going here.
All right, let me get rid of Disney Nerd's comment. All right, we're going to go from 125 to 115 first. Coming all the way down to the bottom at number 125 is He's All That, the remake to She's All That on Netflix, starring Addison Rae, the TikToker. I hated this movie. This was easily my worst movie of 2021. If you do remakes, it's most of the time not going to go your favor. And TikTokers are not actors. And Addison Rae, understandably, was not that great. It was the script that was the biggest issue here. I didn't like the romance. And it was just all around cringe. So He's All That, definitely the worst. 124, The Forever Purge. When are we going to stop with these Purge movies? It's a different concept. The Purge is going on forever now, not all night. And I just could not stand the lead characters. The kills weren't even fun to watch. And the motivations in here are all over the place. So The Forever Purge, definitely one of the worst movies of last year. 123 is Thunder Force. I'm sick of Melissa McCarthy doing comedies. I think she should stick to dramas. This movie was just not funny. The action wasn't even that enjoyable to watch. It was trying to be like a comic book movie, but it was a Melissa McCarthy comedy at the forefront. So, did not like Thunder Force at all. 122 is Halloween Kills. I was really frustrated watching this movie. I thought the 2018 Halloween was pretty good, but this one was kind of similar to Halloween 4, 5, and 6, focusing on those storylines when David Gordon Green said he wasn't trying to be like those movies. Well, yeah, you're exactly like those movies. I did not like the characters except for Michael, so I was rooting for Michael. 121, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I was so frustrated watching this movie. I literally wanted to walk out 30 minutes in. The jokes are not funny. Sam Jackson, Ryan Reynolds, and Selma Hayek are really likable actors and actresses, but their characters are so annoying in here. The action is just over the top, and Antonio Banderas as the villain was wasted. 120, Escape Room, Tournament of Champions, another sequel. This one sets up for a third one, and the Saw and Maze Runner elements weren't that interesting at all. I barely remembered any of the traps in this movie besides the final one. But yeah, Escape Room 2 did not like this movie. 119, Snake Eyes. G.I. Joe Origins, is this even a Snake Eyes movie? No, it is not, according to the fan base. I know nothing about the G.I. Joe series. And Henry Golden, I think he should be the next James Bond, but he should not do movies like this. Snake Eyes was a bomb for a reason, and it has some of the worst editing I've seen. 118 is F9, or Fast and Furious 9, or F9, The Fast Saga, the worst title of last year. I'm getting pretty tired of these Fast and Furious movies, guys. I love Furious 7, but ever since then, they should have ended it at 7. And John Cena as his brother makes no sense. Like, you never even once mentioned Toretto had a brother once. Or let's just write that into the script. Okay. Yeah, not looking forward to Fast and Furious 10 at all. 117 is Tom and Jerry, the live action animated movie. I was fine with Tom and Jerry, but the other characters, this unnecessary subplot with this marriage was so unnecessary. We wanted more Tom and Jerry slapstick, and we didn't get enough of that. And Chloe Grace Moretz, she's in it. 116, The Woman in the Window. Amy Adams just had a terrible year last year with Dear Evan Hansen in this. The Woman in the Window is just Rear Window 2. The scares aren't good. The script is atrocious. The characters are forgettable. It has fantastic actors and actresses in it, but they were just wasted. And 115, probably one of the more divisive films of last year, The Matrix Resurrections. I hated this movie. It's the worst Matrix movie, in my opinion. It's Reloaded, and Revolutions is better than this movie. Keanu Reeves' Neo was wasted. Yaya was wasted, and everything in this movie just shits all over the Matrix series. So please do not make another one.
Yeah, so there was a lot of comments, Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to pop them up. That would just take forever, so I'm just going to read off of some of them.
Okay.
We had Daniel said the Forever Purge was not good. It was 80 of 91 on his list. We have Luigi Marinas Gaming in here. He said Sing 2 is his favorite movie of the year.
Nice.
Nicholas Lloyd said he has not seen a single Purge movie.
Good.
A lot of people agreeing with you. Thunder Force was not good. Disney Nerd, the Purge movies will stop when the Fast and Furious movies stop. Yeah.
That's the true reality.
We had Daniel said Halloween Kills was number 6 of 91 on his list, so he really liked it.
Interesting.
Let's see here. Some people didn't watch Snake Eyes because they heard bad things. Michael Corker said F9 was dumb, but he thought it was a guilty pleasure. Nicholas Lloyd said Henry Golding is 007. Really?
Yeah, I would love to see Henry Golden as 007. Something different. I think he'd fit the role really well.
Did you watch Sing 2 this year? I don't remember.
I did. I saw it a month early.
Is it ranked on here? I don't know if it is.
Yes, it is. It should be.
Take a quick look while you do that. I did not watch Woman in the Window because I heard really bad things. Ew, Tom and Jerry was an absolute garbage movie, terrible movie. I did not see it, nor do I ever care to. That's funny.
Interesting.
You didn't
I
rank it?
never ranked Sing 2.
Wow. Ryan forgot to rank a movie.
All right. You know, I actually like the movie. I'll put it in somewhere here. Okay.
As long as you can remember where you put it. Just make a mental note.
Okay. Please. I knew this would happen. Alrighty. I know where Sing 2 is going to go.
Okay. As long as you know what movies it's in between.
Yep.
Perfect. Let's see here. Honestly, 2021 was a bad year for movies. So many shitty movies. Brian, do you agree with Brian's comment?
I think there was more good than bad, in all honesty. It was kind of a mix, but I think this year, or 2021, was a really good year for cinema.
I thought 2021 had a lot of good movies this year. A lot of people said. Ryan, have you seen Rear Window by Hitchcock?
Yes. Amazing movie. Fantastic.
I think you can jump into the next 10 here, Ryan, but that's why we rank the movies right after we see them.
Yes, that's exactly right. All right, 115 to 105 is the next number here. Or, sorry, 114 to 105 is the next. All right, coming in at number 114 is Lockdown, the first movie I saw in 2021. A movie about the pandemic. You got Chiwetel Ejiofor and Anne Hathaway in it. Just a really bad movie. It's nothing but Skype phone calls. Like, there's nothing interesting about it. The script wasn't that good. The direction was not memorable at all. And these actors are very good, but you waste them with a very boring story. So, Lockdown, definitely one of the more forgettable movies of last year. 113, probably one of the worst sequels last year, Coming to America. The first movie is an absolute classic from Eddie Murphy, but you make his character probably the most unlikable jackass in the world and contradicting in everything that his father was and he was in the first movie. I didn't like the storyline with his son. I didn't like Leslie Jones in it or Tracy Morgan. And the only interesting parts were when it ended. I didn't like this movie at all. I wanted to stop watching it. Coming to America, definitely awful. 112, House of Gucci. Ridley Scott is going to be really low on this list and very high on this list. But Ridley Scott, he's hit or miss, right? And I knew with House of Gucci, you had this amazing cast to it with Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, and Jared Leto. Oh, he was the worst part of this movie by far. Did not like Jared Leto at all. But Lady Gaga was really good in it. I thought she was great. Adam Driver was solid. But as far as a Ridley Scott movie, it didn't feel like a Ridley Scott movie. It was way too long, and the storylines weren't that well fleshed out. And just the acting and the script was all over the place by the end of it. 111 is going to be M. Night Shyamalan's Old. Shyamalan missed again. Old was a really weird movie, to say the least. It's very divisive, but I didn't like it for the most part. I thought the storyline was really dumb. You got these characters who turn old on the beach, and in one sequence, you have these kids that are like 8, and then they're 23, and then they're 30. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. It was cringe, and by the end of it, I just didn't know what to think of it. So, Old definitely did not work for me. 110 is going to be The Marksman with Liam Neeson. I thought it was a pretty interesting idea for a Western, but it is pretty much like any other Western these days. Liam Neeson is fine in it, but I don't remember anything else about it. It's just the simple protect this boy from these group of bad guys. A boy who crosses the border, and that's all I pretty much remember about The Marksman. 109 is the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. It had a weird release date. Apparently, it came out last year in Canada, and it released this year in the United States on Paramount Plus.
Well, 2 years ago now.
Oh, 2 years ago? Yeah.
Right, because 2019.
All right, yeah, if I say that, apologies. But yeah, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, I didn't like this movie. I didn't think it was classic SpongeBob at all. SpongeBob and Patrick are just not the same like they were in the start of SpongeBob. They go to this Atlanta City to try to find something. Yeah, I don't remember much about it. Like, I miss the classic days of SpongeBob, and this movie was not it at all. 108 it has a massive franchise, a massive fan base, but I'm not a fan of Mortal Kombat like everybody else is. So Mortal Kombat, it had people that enjoyed it and a lot of people that hated it. And this movie was just not for me. Like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and all these characters. It had this lead character named Cole or something, who was probably the most boring character I've seen in a while. The fight sequences were cool, but that's pretty much the only thing I enjoyed about it. But having no lore to the Mortal Kombat series, and made me not say I want a sequel. So yeah, Mortal Kombat wasn't for me. 107 is probably, I'm on the opposite side of this one. I know some people really liked this movie, but that's The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I saw this early at a press screening with my buddies Dwayne and Alex Madden, and we all had pretty much the same thoughts on this movie. We thought it was a step down from the other Conjuring films. I didn't love this movie, to be honest. I didn't really like the storyline. It wasn't as invested as Conjuring 1 and 2. But the best parts are definitely Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson as the Warrens. Some of the scares are good, but the other ones are full-on jump scare. So, yeah, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. If James Wan isn't directing it, then it's not going to be as good as the other two. 106 is going to be a Netflix movie, The Dig. Pretty forgettable, if I'm being honest. It had an interesting storyline to it. Carrie Mulligan, she was pretty good in it. But yeah, one of the more forgettable movies. The Dig had an interesting concept, but not a film that I remember much about. 105 is Outside the Wire. Anthony Mackie is the soldier guy who's kind of helping on this younger guy who's in a trouble type of guy. He gets in trouble a lot. Some cool action sequences. Anthony Mackie was the most memorable part about it. I like the action and the storyline, but nothing really eventful. So definitely not top tier for last year.
All right, those are the next 10. So these next ones, we'll do the next 5, and then we'll address the chat. But a lot of people agree with you. Coming to America, the first one is a classic. A lot of people didn't see House of Gucci after hearing a lot of the reviews. Someone said they love Lady Gaga. You do too, just not in House of Gucci.
Yes, I like her as an actress.
TVB9's in here. He says, how was your Christmas and New Year's Eve, Ryan? He just graduated.
Oh, congratulations, man. My Christmas was great, for sure. We had a good Christmas. How about you, man?
Old was a mixed bag. Someone didn't watch Old as well. No interest in watching The Marksman. Disney nerd. Ugh, screw these SpongeBob movies.
Yes, screw them indeed.
Let's see here. Mortal Kombat should have been directed by the same person who made the Raid movies.
Oh, that would have been a good choice.
Yeah. The opening scene of Mortal Kombat was great. The rest of the film, besides the fight and the gore, was just bad.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't see The Dig as well. Trav Max is in here. He says, Happy New Year.
Hey, Trav Max, Happy New Year, man.
I did not like Outside the Wire. It was 81 of 91 on Daniel's list. Let's see here. Lady Gaga blossomed as an actress in A Star is Born. Yes, she was great in that movie.
Yes, she was.
All right, so Ryan now is going to do 104 to 101.
101? Yes, 104.
So that way we're at 100. And, yeah.
Yes. All right, so let's do these ones right here. At number 104 is Vacation Friends with John Cena and Lil Rel Howery. Not a funny movie at all. Just not funny. John Cena most of the time can be funny, like in other installments, but in this one, he's really silly and over the top. Lil Rel Howery's trying his best as well. Just nothing worked about this movie. It's just these group of couples coming together in vacation time, and they're trying to prank each other. It was a pretty stupid movie. So Vacation Friends, definitely not a funny movie. 103, Willy's Wonderland. Nicolas Cage as a silent janitor guy destroying some puppeteers at Willy's Wonderland. Some of the puppets were pretty cool. I like the designs of them. Nick Cage just says nothing, and I found some of the other characters unnecessary. Just wanted Nicolas Cage, destroying some puppets for sure. And we got that for sure, but just cut out the other human characters. Then this would have been higher on the list. 102 is going to be Reminiscence. Reminiscence with Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson. Probably very similar to Blade Runner in terms of its poster and the concept alone. I love Hugh Jackman in this movie and Rebecca Ferguson. I think they give very good performances in it. But again, the storyline just does not interest me at all. And it was way too long. And by the final act, it makes this bold decision that just didn't land with me. It landed with other people, but for me, it did not work. 101 is going to be Cry Macho. Clint Eastwood. Man, props to Clint Eastwood that he's still acting in a movie like Cry Macho. It's a Western movie, and I do remember that it's Clint Eastwood trying to protect this young boy. Pretty similar to The Marksman, but better. I like Clint Eastwood in it. He was pretty badass. And the Western vibes. I love a good Western movie now these days. We need some more of them. And this movie, while it's not top tier, it did some things right. And I gave it credit for that.
Alrighty, before we get into the top 100, guys,
yes.
Top 100, we have Scott in here. He says hello.
Hello, Scott. How you doing?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Daniel liked Vacation Friends. Let's see here. Nicholas Lloyd said the cinematic Five Nights at Freddy's is Willy's Wonderland.
Yes.
Let's see here. Willy's Wonderland was all right. Someone else didn't watch Reminiscence as well. But hey, at least Nick Cage had a great performance in Pig.
Yes, we will be talking about Pig later on in the list, indeed. Good
Clint
friend.
Eastwood is the man, and then we have James Bond and Spider-Man fan here who said hi.
What's up? Very loyal subscriber. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Awesome, guys. We are in the top 100, but if you haven't already.
Yes, if you haven't yet, guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button right now. We need to get this. How many likes are we at, Cody? I'm curious.
You know what, Ryan? You asked a great question.
Thank you. And hit that like button and hit that subscribe button.
7 likes, 18 people watching.
Yes, thank you guys. Let's get that like button, keep it on going, and hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new to the channel and you want to see more like it. I'm trying to have big things for the channel this year in terms of goals. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's continue trucking with 100 through 90.
91.
91? Oh, yeah. Coming in at number 100 is Troll Hunters Rise of the Titans. I got some hate in my comment section for this review. A lot of people love this movie or either hate it. And I thought this movie just wasn't my cup of tea. It was more for the fan base of Troll Hunters. Again, one of the more forgettable movies for me, in all honesty. I have not rewatched it. Don't remember much about it. It had some cool animation and cool action sequences and characters that are really inspiring for a generation today. But again, I'm an adult. It doesn't really gravitate towards me. But Troll Hunters Rise of the Titans didn't work for me overall. Number 99 is Sweet Girl with Jason Momoa and Isabella Merced. Jason Momoa plays this father and protecting his daughter, and after a really tragic event that happens in the film, Momoa has to protect his daughter at all costs from some bad people. While Momoa was really good in this movie, and Isabella Merced, there is a twist that happens in the third act that destroys the whole movie, that ruins the whole movie. If you cut that twist out, this would have been higher. But that twist had to happen, and it was so stupid. It made no sense. While Momoa and Merced were great, that twist ruins this movie in general. But there are some really emotional scenes in Sweet Girl. Number 98 is After Life of the Party, another Netflix movie. Most of this list is definitely Netflix films. It's Victoria Justice. Again, I thought she was not that great acting-wise in the film, but it is a pretty funny movie and emotional, too. There's some good emotion to it, but nothing like groundbreaking or nothing like we haven't seen before with this plot line. So while I enjoyed Victoria Justice, seeing her more in movies, Afterlife of the Party isn't a top tier movie. Number 97 is America the Motion Picture, an animated Independence Day movie. I know Phil Lord and Chris Miller were producers behind the film. While it is R-rated and bloody, it isn't the most interesting or funniest film I've seen. I do like Channing Tatum as George Washington, Simon Pegg as the villain. It had some good comedy, but the final act is literally like Return of the King mixed with Endgame. Nonsense. It just got too bloody, too cursy, and not funny. So all around, I enjoyed the first half of this movie, but not the last half. 96 is Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. Now, I watched the first Peter Rabbit for the first time and wasn't a big fan of it. This one, the same, but it is a dash better. James Corden is, I think he's hands down the worst comedian working today. I can't stand James Corden. He's not funny at all. But Donald Gleason at least made the movie entertaining, and some of the villains were cool. But Peter Rabbit 2, while it is better than the first one, it's nothing amazing. 95. A lot of people got at me saying, why isn't this lower? But I guess I had some enjoyment. That is Space Jam: A New Legacy. While I enjoyed some of the basketball sequences of this movie, and while I do think the first one is better, I thought LeBron James was awful acting-wise in this movie. He was awful, and so was his son. It was the script that was the biggest issue in the film, but Don Cheadle steals the entire movie. He was pretty funny and entertaining, and that's because Don Cheadle is an actor, not LeBron. Well, the third act of this movie, Cody, you saw it too. It was literally an hour long, and it felt like 2 hours with this basketball game.
They did like this random dance break.
Yeah, this random rap battle that did not need to be in it, which was not funny. So all around, I didn't absolutely hate Space Jam 2. It's not a good movie, but I had some enjoyment with it. 94, Back to the Outback. Netflix animated movie about animals escaping to their natural habitat. Kind of like Madagascar. I had some enjoyment with it, but again, it doesn't gravitate to my age demographic. Kids, I think, will really enjoy this movie, and it has some kid humor that doesn't work for me, but it's not anything terrible. I think Back to the Outback is good for families to watch, that's for sure. 93, I forgot this movie came out this year. Cherry, one of my most anticipated films of 2021. The Russo brothers stepping away from the MCU and directing something out of that. But it stars Tom Holland, and Tom Holland's damn great in this movie. He's fantastic, but you had a weird casting of Sierra Bravo, the little sister from Big Time Rush. She was not good. The characters that they play are literally some of the most unlikable lead characters of last year. It's this weird movie where we're supposed to buy Tom Holland swearing, cussing, and talking about random stuff. I thought it was too long and not a very interesting movie. And oh my God, it was so cringeworthy. Cherry, definitely one of the most disappointing films of last year. 92 is The Last Letter from Your Lover, a movie I literally forgot I saw this year. I remember Shailene Woodley was in it. It's literally this love story that goes on for years. And it had some cool concepts to it. I like the acting from Shailene Woodley, and the older actors that play the younger people were good. But literally nothing like we haven't seen before. The third act was probably the more interesting act compared to the first two. While I did enjoy it, it was anything amazing or memorable. And that is 92.
Yep, and 91 is where we're going to...
91, okay. Number 91, you guys maybe give me some slack for this. I know it was higher on a lot of people's lists. Jungle Cruise is number 91. I was not on the bandwagon or the Jungle Cruise like everybody else was. The Rock literally plays himself. Emily Blunt was probably the most likable character in here. The brother I didn't really find interesting. And the adventure wasn't as epic as I was hoping it would be. While I do enjoy Jesse Plemons as the villain, I can't speak today. Jesse Plemons as the villain was pretty entertaining, but Jungle Cruise was nothing groundbreaking in my opinion. I do think The Rock and Emily Blunt are a good duo. Just I wasn't on the bandwagon like everybody else was.
Alrighty, next 10 movies off the board. A lot of people were kind of with you. They did not see any of the Troll Hunters movies before going into it, so they skipped it for that reason. Sweet Girl was disappointing, said a lot of people here. Michael Kocher asked you a question. Ryan, will you do a live stream with the Oscar experts?
They are pretty big YouTubers. If I reach out to them, maybe.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
I think one of them follows you on Twitter, I think, actually.
I think one of them, yeah. I mean, nothing is impossible. I do like their channel a lot. I watch them the most when it comes to
shout
stuff.
Ryan out in their comment section. That would be cool.
Absolutely.
I didn't watch America the Motion Picture. My friend told me America the Motion Picture is so bad it's good, kind of thing. What do you feel about that?
I can see that. I agree with that.
No interest in seeing Peter Rabbit. I still want to see Space Jam: A New Legacy, but my coworker advised me against it. Ryan, do you advise against it as well?
If you like the first Space Jam, check it out for yourself. Form your own opinion. Don't let someone not force you to watch
something. Fun fact, Victoria Justice is the same actress in a few Nickelodeon shows.
Mm-hmm.
Someone made fun of you for saying habitat, like habitat.
Yeah, I know. I can't speak tonight.
Let's see here. I liked Cherry. I want to see it, but I don't have Apple TV Plus. Ew, Space Jam: A New Legacy is absolute hot garbage. I never watched it. It's just a 2-hour commercial for Warner Brothers properties. Let's see here. I hate the rap number from Porky Pig. He was just atrocious in that movie.
Yeah.
Anthony and Joe Russo's next movie, The Gray Man, is in my top 10 anticipated of 2022. You excited for that one, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. I literally, Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling. I'm very excited for that one.
Paul Giamatti in Jungle Cruise?
Oh, yeah, he was in that. Oh, God, he was not good.
And you are excited for The Gray Man, you said?
Absolutely. I am excited for The Gray Man.
Oh, no, Nicholas. We knew the habitat was a joke.
Yeah, we knew it was a joke.
All right, I think we're good to move on to the next 10 movies, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get right into the next batch of movies, guys.
90 to 81.
90 to 81. All right. Coming in at number 90 is going to be The Unforgivable with Sandra Bullock. A drama film about this horrible incident that Sandra Bullock's character does in the film. Well, it is a good performance from Sandra Bullock. You got Vincent D'Onofrio, John Bernthal, and Viola Davis. I thought they gave good performances. Just the script in the end isn't really that interesting, in my opinion. And it just didn't really capture that emotion like I really wanted for a plotline like this. Sandra Bullock is very good in the movie. Just the script was the biggest issue. Number 89 is Nightmare Alley. I know this was one of my hot takes of last year. Guillermo del Toro. I just don't love del Toro's films like the majority do. Like Pan's Labyrinth, I'm not in that masterpiece level. And while this one, I'm not in the love train. It's got a great cast. You know, Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara, Willem Dafoe. I thought the best performances were Cate Blanchett, Bradley Cooper, and Willem Dafoe. But everything else was just way too dark and sadistic for my liking. And the third act just goes in a direction I wasn't expecting or found as interesting as the first two acts. And yeah, it's just that Del Toro vibe that doesn't work for me in Nightmare Alley. While it did have potential, it didn't resonate with me by the end of the day. Coming in number 88 is The Kingsman, prequel to the Kingsman series. Ralph Fiennes was great in this movie. I think he saves the movie from being an abomination. Just this movie doesn't feel like a Kingsman prequel. It feels like a 1917-ish wannabe with the war sequences that are in the film, some action, but this British movie with these big cast members. While the action does go down, it's pretty great. I thought Jaimon Hansu was a badass in this film, and Ralph Fiennes. Other than that, one of the more dull parts, I didn't love Riz Ifans like everybody else. I thought he was pretty bad. So The Kingsman, it had potential to be great, but it's better than Kingsman 2 in my opinion. 87 is Bad Trip with Lil Rel Howery and Eric Andre. A comedy film about pranking. It's pretty much a POV prank show kind of movie. Well, Bad Trip had some pretty bad comedy and some good comedy in there. I think Lil Rel Howery is funny and Eric Andre. Just the script they were handed was over the top. And Tiffany Haddish's character is just like this insane sister. And it just, some of the pranking isn't as memorable as Jackass. So Bad Trip had some good comedy and good pranks, but not fully 100%. 86 is Stowaway, a space movie.
Netflix, right?
Yes. I think Anna Kendrick and
I don't remember.
Toni Collette. Great cast to it. I think Daniel Dai Kim was in it too. I think I'm saying his name right. Good performances in it. Good visual effects for a space movie on Netflix. Just again, the story was not as interesting as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be as groundbreaking as something like Interstellar or First Man. I thought was better than this, but it had some cool visual, groundbreaking scenes in this film. I thought another space Netflix film was better than this one. Number 85 is Blue Miracle. Blue Miracle had good performances in it, an interesting, okay story, and a good payoff by the end. It was just a good movie around. Like, it wasn't like awful or amazing. It was just a good movie. I enjoyed it. Could have been better. Absolutely. Just an okay, good movie.
Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid, yes. 84 is Dear Evan Hansen. Dear Evan Hansen, I didn't love this movie as much as Cody did. I have no connection to Dear Evan Hansen, the musical. I thought this movie all around had good music to it. The music was definitely the best part about it, but the lead character I didn't like. He was pretty much lying the whole movie. I didn't like his character at all. But the songs were the best part about it. It is dealing with a serious subject matter and suicide. He's pretending to be friends with a guy he doesn't even know, and he's talking to the family. I get he's doing it for a reason, but I just did not like this character at all. So at the end of the day, Dear Evan Hansen, definitely one of the worst musicals of the year. 83 is going to be Kate. Kate was a pretty cool action movie. I liked, what's her name? From 10 Cloverfield Lane. I'm blanking. Kate? Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She was great in the movie. So was Woody Harrelson. It's a good action movie. It's pretty much a revenge movie. I really enjoyed Kate all around. There's this twist that happens in the movie that didn't work for me fully. But at the end of the day, Kate was a pretty entertaining action movie. I enjoyed it. 82 is Awake. Awake, this pretty much this crisis going on, this event where you can't sleep because of cell phones or something. I thought that was an interesting plot line, pretty much for an end of the world movie. Gina Rodriguez gives a good performance in it. While it does have a pretty crappy third act, I thought the first two acts were definitely good. But that third act definitely brings it down a little bit on this ranking. Well, Awake had a really cool concept. Just that third act pretty much brought it down on this list. And at number 81 is going to be The Starlin. The Starlin with Melissa McCarthy. This is what I want to see Melissa McCarthy do more dramatic roles. And she is very good in the movie. But the storyline isn't like as interesting as I would hope it would be. It has an interesting dark storyline to it, but it's more lighthearted. Well, but I thought Melissa McCarthy's character was interesting and she gives a good performance in it. If it was a little bit more dramatic, then I would have put it higher on the list. But yeah, it's at 81.
All right, so a few people still haven't seen Nightmare Alley yet, so they can't give their thoughts on it yet. Also with The Kingsman, Ryan O'Toole, did you see Titane?
Titane, I did not see Titane.
Did not see Titane. The Kingsman was good, but the first two were better, according to James Bond. And a spoiler alert, I guess, for The Kingsman. I hated when they killed off Conrad.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
I just said spoiler warning.
Oh yeah, I didn't really love the Conrad character, but I didn't like how he died, honestly, as well.
Kingsman was the last movie I saw before the end of 2021. Way better than Matrix 4, says JPX FRD. Didn't watch Stowaway, didn't watch Blue Miracle. The host at Hulkville asks, how come you didn't mention the Untitled David O. Russell film on your anticipated list?
We only did 10. I did include honorable mentions, but we only wanted to do a top 10.
Someone else loved Dear Evan Hansen. They're number 4 of 91 movies.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people. There are some people that like Dear Evan Hansen. I didn't happen to
I mean, for me personally, I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was solid, but I think the story isn't really made for a movie.
I agree with
Setting,
that,
I
actually.
guess you could say.
It's made for a Broadway musical for a reason.
Joshua asked you if you saw Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
I did not.
And then, also, while I was thinking about it, Tom Holland, wasn't he in another movie this year? Chaos Walking?
Chaos Walking.
Did that come out this year?
Yes.
Did you rank it?
It would be, I did not. I noticed that as well, but it would be bottom.
Interesting. Brian, you should grow a mullet.
I should. I would like to grow a mullet. I'm shit.
While you're thinking about that, let's do the next 10 movies.
Yes, we shall do the next 10 movies. Alrighty, so we just did 81. All right. So next we're doing 80 through 71 next. So 80 through 71. Coming in at number 80 is going to be The Protege. The Protege, cool action movie. Martin Campbell directed it. I like Samuel L. Jackson. I didn't like that something happens with his character in the film. It's got a cool, badass action vibe to it. Michael Keaton was pretty cool in it, but something happens in like the second and third act that kind of threw me off. Well, the action's great, just the storyline was not the best part about it. Number 79 is Oxygen, the other space Netflix movie I liked more than Stowaway. Naomi Watts was very good in the movie. It's just this claustrophobic movie where it takes place in this one location, and she gives a very good performance in it. It definitely carries the whole movie, and the third act got pretty interesting, but the second act was the slowest part by far. 78 is going to be Concrete Cowboy. Idris Elba in this community in Pennsylvania where they're black cowboys. They're riding on horses. It's an action movie as well as a hangout film. You had the kid from Stranger Things in it. He was very good, as well as Idris Elba. He was just the commanding presence of this film. The second act, it gets kind of dull. The third act gets a lot better. There's just good acting father and son scenes in this film. It's not groundbreaking. It's okay. 77, Yes Day. Everybody likes a yes day from now and then. Just say yes to everything for an entire day. Well, I enjoyed it. This is a good comedy movie, a good family movie. Some good performances in it. Jennifer Gardner. It's just this whole family. Yeah, I bought the family vibes to the film whenever they're doing a lot of fun activities, just saying yes to everything. I think the car wash scene is pretty funny. And this little game they play in the film was funny. The third act, it kind of loses its steam, but it is an enjoyable family movie. I really enjoyed watching Yes Day. 76 is Moxie, directed by Amy Poehler. This was a pretty funny movie, an interesting topic for a film. I thought the performances were very good. It's not the most memorable film that I remember, but for the most part, I thought Amy Poehler's direction was pretty solid in here. Not like top tier. Again, it's just a solid movie I enjoyed. 75 is Licorice Pizza. I'm kind of on the opposite side from other people. A lot of people have it in their top 10 or top 20 of last year. I just thought it was okay. The age gap was probably my biggest issue. I didn't bought the romance at all. Elena Hamm was really good in the movie. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's son was very good as well. Bradley Cooper was the funniest character by far. I enjoyed his character. But Licorice Pizza isn't like that funny of a film. It's got some good acting in it, but I just didn't buy the romance as well as this one unnecessary racist scene that didn't need to be in it. 74 is The White Tiger. Definitely a really good screenplay. Very good performances in here and an interesting concept. But the pacing was really bad. It kind of drags this whole movie down. If it wasn't for the pacing, this would definitely be top tier. 73 is Finding Ohana. This treasure hunting movie. Basically like the Goonies. They go to the same place they filmed Jurassic Park. I remember that. Just a fun family movie. It's a family bonding film, and there's some good emotion to it. It's just a fun Goonies vibe film that I really enjoyed watching on Netflix last year, but it's not top tier. 72 is going to be Taylor Sheridan's Those Who Wish Me Dead. Those Who Wish Me Dead had some good performances in it, especially Angelina Jolie. I thought she was fantastic in this film, and the relationship she had with the young boy was great. And it's just a Taylor Sheridan dramatic film mixed with this wildfire type of film that kind of remind me of those classic firefighter movies back in the day. And it's just a really solid film. Not like the best Taylor Sheridan film, obviously, but I thought this movie was very well done. And 71 is going to be Without Remorse, the Michael B. Jordan action film on Amazon Prime. I thought Michael B. Jordan was great in this movie. I bought his dramatic scenes when it comes to his wife in the film. It goes on for far too long, but I think the second act is one of the best action sequences of last year. But the third act is one of the most forgettable of last year. But Michael B. Jordan was fantastic in this movie.
Alrighty, Ryan,
All right.
another hair comment. You should get an afro.
Oh my God.
2022, Ryan getting an afro. What do you guys think? Let us know.
I'll be like Sacha Baron Cohen in Trial of Chicago 7.
Licorice Pizza does not sound like a top-tier Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Well, it wasn't for me. I know a lot of people loved it. I just didn't love it.
And James Bond is asking if you could recommend any Paul Thomas Anderson movies to him, except Punch Drunk Love and There Will Be Blood.
I recommend you to watch...
Ryan's like, those are the only two.
No. I'm blanking on his filmography right now. Boogie Nights. I can recommend Boogie Nights to you. I can recommend Magnolia. I think that's a very good movie. One more. The Master. Check out The Master if you love Joaquin Phoenix and Joker.
Without Remorse is one of the most forgettable movies of 2021. Better than that terrible Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, at least.
I liked it more than Jack Recruiter, honestly.
Awesome. Great. So now I think we can jump into 70 through 61. I think we're all caught up here.
Yeah, I
want to see where we are for likes, though, real quick.
Yeah.
12 likes. Thank you guys so much. Can we get it to 15?
Yeah, can we get it to 15, guys? Let's do that for sure.
Hey, we got Devin Pilgrim in here. What's up, Devin?
What's up, Devin? Happy New Year, man. How you doing? All right, so let's get to number 70 through 61. Coming in number 70 is going to be Beckett with John David Washington. It's a Netflix movie. Pretty dark movie. He pretty much gets framed for this murder he didn't do. John David Washington, he's always good acting-wise in movies. But this movie goes on for far too long in the third act. It goes way too political. It should have just focused on this great revenge or escape movie from the police. And John David Washington definitely carries this movie. 69 is going to be Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I thought it was better than the first Venom, for sure. Tom Hardy and Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock and Venom's relationship is really enjoyable to watch in here. Compared to the first one, it was mostly slapstick, but this one was slapstick in more funnier ways. Woody Harrelson as Carnage was the biggest issue for the film. I just don't like these Venom movies being PG-13. It doesn't work for me. I think they should just be full-out R-rated films. Then it would have given Carnage more gruesome elements and made him more of an interesting character. Woody Harrelson tries his best. So does Naomi Harris. But the movie wasn't long enough to really flesh in his character out. Yeah, Venom, Let There Be Carnage could have been a lot better. 68 is going to be Bruised, Halle Berry's directorial debut. And she was very good in this movie. And the direction-wise isn't on par with the acting. I thought some of the boxing scenes were gruesome. I love a good boxing movie. Well, this one isn't a great boxing film. It's a solid directed film, and Halle Berry is very good in this movie. 67 is Antlers. Antlers, probably one of the weirdest titles of last year, but an interesting storyline to it. I'm forgetting the cast who's in this movie, but I did.
Monet? Did you know Monet?
Oh, Kerry Russell. Kerry Russell was very good in the movie. Just the third act goes in a really weird direction with a twist in there that didn't work for me fully, but I thought the concept in the first act sounded a lot interesting. her following her student around, trying to learn more information about the house he's living at. But then the third act kind of ruins the movie by the end. Solid concept, but a bad execution. 66 is going to be Swan Song. Mahershala Ali was fantastic in this movie. I love the concept to this movie. The performances were the best part of the film. The script was really interesting. The third act got a little underwhelming for my taste, but the first two acts were enough to save it. And Mahershala Ali was just really great in this film. 65 is going to be Red Notice. Red Notice with The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds, one of the biggest casts of last year. Just this action movie with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds going to find pretty much 3 eggs, and they have to stop Gal Gadot's character, who's pretty much the villain in the film. I thought for the most part the action was great, and the performances were over the top in the right ways. Gal Gadot as a villain, she is gorgeous and really over the top and great. The Rock is pretty much like this rogue guy. And Ryan Reynolds would probably be my favorite of the 3, surprisingly. I really like Ryan Reynolds in this film, but the third act has a twist that didn't work for me fully. 64 is going to be Eternals. Eternals was probably my most disappointing film of last year. For Marvel, this movie did not need to be as long as it was. And it introduced far too many characters for it to feel nicely balanced as like Guardians of the Galaxy was. I agree with Sean Chandler's opinion. I think this would have worked way better as a Disney Plus series than an actual movie. While I do love the different vision that Chloe Zhao brought to the direction, it just was not as interesting as I wanted it to be. The Eternals themselves are questioning to save humanity. I just did not like the third act in this movie. It was over bloated, while the first act got interesting and then less interesting as the movie kept going. 63, Clifford the Big Red Dog. I surprisingly didn't hate it based on the trailers. It was just a sweet dog movie. If you love dogs, then I think you'll enjoy this movie. Clifford's adorable. Are the human characters that amazing? No. But Clifford steals the show. He's adorable. He plays with big plastic balls in the park. A guy in this villain in the movie, Tony Hale, who voices Forky in Toy Story 4, he's trying to find Clifford and it's pretty much the Iron Giant, but Clifford's adorable enough to put it this high, or 63 on the list. And 62 is going to be Black Widow. For the MCU, this movie was definitely 10 years too late, but I think Natasha Romanoff's story ended pretty solidly. And Scarlett Johansson was very good. But it's Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova that stole the show. I like David Harbour. Didn't like Rachel Weisz or Taskmaster. It had some good Mission Impossible vibes to it, but it's not top tier MCU at all. And 61 is going to be The Little Things. You had Jared Leto. You had Rami Malek and Denzel Washington. Very good performances. Out of those 3, I think Denzel's the best by far. Jared Leto, I didn't hate him, but he wasn't like amazing. All right, that's 61.
All right, first Blu-ray Addict's in here. He says hello.
Hello, Blu-ray Addict. How are you doing?
I hope Let There Be Carnage is better than the first Venom, since I hated the first Venom. Let's see here. TVB9 asks, Ryan, how do you feel about YouTube taking away public dislikes? I know it's old news, but I think it's stupid.
I think it's stupid as well. I think learning from the dislikes is something, but seeing dislikes is like, maybe you could take away something from it. Maybe you could have done something better, or people are just trolls. Like, what do you think, Cody?
I mean, why have it in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, I agree. I think people can use it as a learning tool. Okay, I need to do better here. I need to make my videos better quality and stuff. But what's the point of adding the dislike button in the first place now to just get rid of it? Are they just trying to get rid of negativity? Because that still happens in comment sections. I don't know. I feel it's kind of stupid if you ask me. We have Devin Pilgrim saying his favorite movie was The Suicide Squad this year.
Yeah, I love it.
James Bond asks, is Licorice Pizza your most overrated movie of 2021?
No, I would say Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley. All right.
Yeah, I would say Nightmare Alley.
Ryan, has your opinion changed on Mank? Asked Michael.
I have not revisited Mank. I have no curiosity to revisit Mank. I just think Mank was not for me, and not like a great movie in terms of Oscars.
Maybe they should have made Antlers as like a Holly Jolly Reindeer movie for the Christmas holidays. James Bond says Red Notice was my biggest guilty pleasure of 2021. Gal Gadot was in my top 5 favorite villains of the year.
Interesting.
Let's see. I would squeeze Clifford. The Little Things had a very good cast. Ryan, what do you like better between Zodiac or Monster?
Oh, which movie I like more?
Yeah.
I like Zodiac more.
Awesome. Great. So now we're going to get into 61 through... What are we getting into here?
60... We are getting into 60 through 51.
All right, the top half. We're getting close to that top 50, guys.
We are, guys. If you're just tuning on in here, thank you guys so much. Hit the like and subscribe button. It would mean the world. It keeps up that great YouTube algorithm.
13 likes. Can we get to 15, guys? That would be awesome.
Let's get there. All right, let's get to number 60. Coming in at number 60 is going to be Cop Shop. Cop Shop, Gerard Butler and Frank Grillo, just this gritty action movie. It takes place mostly in a prison, and I just thought Gerard Butler and Frank Grillo were pretty badass in this film. It has just interesting dialogue conversations. There's a lot of mistrust going on, and Gerard Butler just this badass. Frank Grillo's the more contained one and is like, just shut up. But then the third act, it had a pretty interesting third act, but the second act really slows down. Like, I love the first act and the third act, just the second act really slowed down from that awesomeness I was hoping for. Number 59 is Spiral from the Book of Saw. The return to the Saw series. Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. Chris Rock had a vision for this film, and let's just make it like 7. Yeah, I love 7. Let's just make it like 7. You get it? Chris Rock was pretty interesting in here, and he was annoying in certain sequences, but I enjoyed just the concept of Spiral. It didn't need to be this insane, over-the-top movie. It was just this pretty interesting cop film. The twist does kind of lose steam in the end. You know where the twist is going. It's his partner. Like, really? Like, we saw this from the start. And overall, I just really enjoyed some of the traps in this film. I like the train trap at the start. I like this one trap where this guy is hanging up and it's just this machine and like glass is hitting his face. It was pretty gruesome to watch. So overall, Spiral isn't great, but I had some enjoyment. And unpopular opinion, it's my favorite Saw movie. 58 is The Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel. I've never seen The Sopranos, and from what people said, you should watch the show before you watch the movie. But I thought the movie had just boring stories that don't appeal to me. Young Tony Soprano in here, who's played by James Gandolfini's son in the film. He was very good, but I just don't know anything about the lore of Sopranos to find appreciation for it. And it's just, it focused it on a thing that I wasn't expecting. I expected it to focus on Tony Soprano. It just focuses on his uncle, and I just didn't find the uncle interesting. 57 is going to be Palmer, the Justin Timberlake Apple TV Plus film. Justin Timberlake is okay in this movie. He's pretty solid in here. I like his relationship with the kid in here. He's pretty much like taking on like a dad figure in here, but he comes out of prison and people don't trust him. And it's a solid movie. I had some enjoyment with Palmer. I gave it a positive review when I reviewed it back in the day. And I just thought it was solid. Justin Timberlake was very good in the movie. And it was pretty emotional movie. I really connected to it. 56 is Wish Dragon, the Netflix animated movie that's similar to Aladdin. This guy pretty much has 3 wishes, and he has to make 3 wishes. And it's pretty much these 2 kids who are friends. They want to fall in love with each other. And of course, the dragon, who's the genie in this film, says you can't make wishes to make love, pretty much like Aladdin. While it isn't a full-on Aladdin ripoff, there is some good comedy in here that makes up for it. And it's John Cho as the dragon. He was pretty funny. 55, The Boss Baby, Family Business, the sequel to Boss Baby, which I absolutely hated the first one, but this one I didn't hate. It's not a great movie, but it's a pretty enjoyable family film. I think families will enjoy this one more. They'll take it better. I'm not going to talk about the one actor in this film, but I thought the animation made it up for the most part, and the storylines were pretty interesting in here. That made it like easier to watch compared to the first one. 54 is The Electrical Life of Louis Wayne. Benedict Cumberbatch had a great year for this year, and he was very good in this movie. It just is a really interesting concept for a film. And the pacing, surprisingly, was very good. It's a pretty long movie, but the pacing was definitely the best part to it. It does meander a bit in the second act, but the third act and Benedict Cumberbatch's performance were able to make it a solid watch. 53 is going to be Stillwater. Matt Damon pretty much is this father who's trying to communicate with his daughter who's in prison. And Matt Damon is really gritty in this film, and he gives a good performance in it. And it is a Paul Greengrass movie. It did feel like that in its tone. It just was not as interesting as I thought it would be. It does lose its pace a lot in the third act. 52 is Don't Breathe 2. I didn't hate Don't Breathe 2 like a lot of people did. A lot of people obviously had issue with, oh, they're making the villain in the first movie the main character, and we have to sympathize with him. I didn't have that issue. I get people's criticisms with that, but I thought Stephen Lang was badass in the first one as well as the second one in here. You're pretty much just watching gritty action and horrible characters doing horrible things to each other and just doing it in the gruesome way possible. That's what I want for a Don't Breathe sequel. Obviously, the main guy, he's the most horrible human being in the entire world after what he did in the first film, but that didn't really bother me like a lot of people did. I was able to escape that and just had a blast with this movie. It was kind of like a throwback Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse film. And number 51 is American Underdog, recent film I watched, the Kurt Warner biopic with Zachary Levi, who gives a very good performance in here. It was able to tell Kurt Warner's story to the best of its ability, and it's a football movie. I love football movies. Just a solid movie all around.
All righty. First off, people are saying they're so glad you didn't see Home Sweet Home Alone.
Yeah.
It was such a horrible reboot, for sure. A lot of people love Chris Rock. They like Spiral. And they're actually making a Saw 10 that's coming out in 2023. Did you know that?
I'm sorry, what?
They're making a Saw 10. Saw 10.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Coming out in 2023. Let's see here. You got to see The Sopranos, Ryan. A lot of people said it's good. You got to check it out. Which performance by Timberlake did you like more, Social Network or Palmer?
Which one do I like better?
More.
Oh, Social Network, for sure.
Did you include Pieces of a Woman on this list?
That is a 2020 movie.
Alrighty. What's good, Ryan? Just stopping in to say hi. Yankee 88 is here.
Hello, nice to see you, Yankee 88.
Thought Don't Breathe 2 was solid. I really liked the first Don't Breathe. Stillwater was Tom McCarthy.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Sorry about that, guys. I'm tired.
It is getting pretty late here on the East Coast. But, Ryan, we're getting now into the top 50 movies for you.
Oh, yeah, we're getting into the top 50, guys.
And what is your favorite football movie other than Remember the Titans?
Gridiron Gang, The Rock. Very good movie. All right, let's get to 50 through 1. 50 through 41 is up next, guys. Woo! Coming in at number 50 is going to be Finch, Apple TV Plus exclusive with Tom Hanks. Live action Wall-E. That's what this movie was. I like the robot in here. He was really wholesome. I thought he was just a really sweet character. And Tom Hanks is kind of a dick to him at times, but it is a great relationship at the end. It did get me in the third act. And the dog, too. Like, if you like Tom Hanks, you like dogs and a robot, you're going to really enjoy Finch. And I did. 49 is Monster. Kelvin Harrison Jr. is very good in this movie. Apparently, this movie premiered at Sundance in 2018, and it got a release this year on Netflix. Kelvin Harrison Jr., he's being framed for a crime he didn't do. And he's just very good in this movie. And the courtroom sequences do get very interesting. But the scenes that aren't the court scenes aren't the interesting parts of this film. It focuses a lot on his life before he commits the crime. I didn't find that as interesting as the courtroom scenes itself. But Kelvin Harrison Jr. does give a very good performance that makes it a solid watch.
Just want to make sure. Did you skip Sing 2? Did you?
No, we're getting to it. We're getting to it. 48 is going to be Wrath of Man with Guy Ritchie and Jason Statham. Jason Statham pretty much is this badass guy. All right, I'll stop with the Jason Statham impression. But it is this action movie heist film. And Jason Statham was a badass, as he always is. And it was a pretty cool concept for a Guy Ritchie movie. He just knows what to do as a director, Guy Ritchie. While this isn't as good as The Gentleman, I thought The Gentleman was a better movie than this. I thought Wrath of Man had really decent action, decent heist sequences in it. And it was just a solid watch. 47, To All the Boys, Always and Forever. The conclusion to the To All the Boys trilogy. These movies are fun romance movies, teen films, and this one is the same. It's better than the second one, and it's a wholesome ending to the trilogy. If you like high school movies, then this one is up your alley. It's sweet, it's romantic, it is over the top, but it's enjoyable. Like, there's nothing harmful to it. 46 is Penguin Bloom. Naomi Watts. Yeah, Naomi Watts, she's very good in this movie. And it's a really sweet movie. And I really cared a lot about the penguin in the movie. Just adorable. There's one sequence in the film I was heartbroken to watch. But it's this relationship with this family and this penguin that make it exactly what it is. It's a solid Netflix movie. If you haven't checked out Penguin Bloom, I recommend it. 45. Let's get to kaiju monsters with Godzilla vs. Kong. Are you Team Kong or Team Godzilla? I'm Team Kong, and this movie was a really fun MonsterVerse film. It's Godzilla and Kong fighting each other, which is what we wanted. Was the humans the focus? No, it's what we want. Godzilla and Kong was the standout in the movie. While he did lose the fight, it's Kong's movie. Like, we want to see more of Kong. Godzilla looked gorgeous, but it is Kong's movie. And I would say this is my second favorite of the MonsterVerse. Yes, my second favorite of the MonsterVerse films. 44 is I Care a Lot. Rosamund Pike's fantastic in this movie. Very good movie. She plays this really interesting character in here, and she slays this performance. Peter Dinklage was also really great in here. I love Peter Dinklage. And it's just a really great concept. Like, I expected nothing about this movie going in, and I was really impressed with what I watched. It's Rosamund Pike's performance that carried the film. 43 is Malignant, James Wan's return to direction. Malignant, one of the more interesting horror films. While I do think a lot of the scenes are really over the top and what the heck in the second act, the third act had a really cool twist. Really cool twist in there. Definitely one of the best twists of the year. Malignant starts off pretty rough, but ends off in a good payoff. Now we're getting to number 42, and that's Marvelous in the Black Hole. This is a movie I saw at Sundance. It doesn't have a release date yet. And I thought this movie was really sweet and wholesome. I don't remember much about it, but I remember really liking the film. Just nothing like interesting happens. But for the most part, the performances were very good, especially the lead actress. She was fantastic in it. Again, I don't remember much about it. I remember seeing it at Sundance and really liking it. I hope it does get a theatrical release this year. And finally, 41 is Nobody. Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul himself in a John Wick movie. Nobody is badass. And Bob Odenkirk, he put in so much work with the stunt work, and he was so great in this movie. Love the bus sequence. Love just the fight sequences. Love that Christopher Lloyd plays his father, and he's with the shotgun in the final act. It's so freaking badass. But Bob Odenkirk really stole the show. He was great as this lead character. And I would be totally down for a sequel or a John Wick crossover.
All righty. Somebody said Finch could be the better version of Chappie.
Chappie? Was more, I would find it more like a Wall-E type of live action film.
CD Gaming is here. He says hello.
Hello. How you doing?
House that Hulk posted he's looking forward to seeing the Penguin in the Batman.
Yes, I'm looking forward to Colin Farrell too.
You like Godzilla vs. Kong better than Venom Let There Be Carnage?
Yes, I do.
Tanner Buchanan was great in Cobra Kai yesterday. He's all that was his worst choice he did.
Oh, that's who the actor from Cobra Kai was. Oh my God.
Peter Dinklage is getting Oscar buzz for
Cyrano, I've not seen that.
Jackie Robinson's number 42. Ryan, are you going to Sundance this year?
Going to Sundance, no. But if they do a at-home Sundance, I definitely would consider doing it.
And Saul Goodman turns into John Wick. Sounds awesome.
Yes, it does sound awesome.
All righty, Ryan. Let's get through 40 through 31. Let's see how many likes you're at.
Actually, I think this is where Sing 2 lies.
Okay. Where does it lie?
38.
Okay. We won't put it up. But we'll keep the same numbers that we have on the screen.
Yeah.
Just say, this is where Sing 2 and talk about it, okay?
Okay. All right, so now we're getting to 40 through 31.
Yeah.
All right, coming in at number 40 is going to be Wes Anderson's The French Dispatch. The French Dispatch has an all-star cast to it. Another solid Wes Anderson movie. Like, it's not top-tier Wes Anderson, that's for sure. I thought the most interesting acts were the third act and the first act. The first act was the best part. The third act was solid. And the second act was my least favorite part. That's Timothée Chalamet's part. I wanted more of him, but Jeffrey Wright was great. And the first act, Benicio del Toro and Adrian Brody. That was my favorite part. I thought that was the funniest part. Like, that is classic Wes Anderson to me. Then it just goes into a weird, wacky zone, and it kind of went back to its footing in the third act. French Dispatch, definitely not top-tier Wes Anderson, but a solid one. 39 is Passin. Passin with Tessa Thompson and Ruth Negga. Yeah, Tessa Thompson, very good. Ruth Negga is very good as well. Just a very good dramatic film. I don't think it's going to get any Oscar love, unfortunately, but I think the performances were very good in it. The script was really powerful and a good message, especially for today's time. Again, just a solid movie. Very good performances in it. 38 is where Sing 2 is. All right, Sing 2. I saw the movie a month ago. I thought it was better than the first Sing. Sing was just an all-right movie, and this one's also an all-right sequel, but it does focus on a storyline, I think, that is more mature for adults, too. It focuses on this character, this guitarist who's a lion. Something happens with his wife. And I thought that was a mature storyline to throw into here, which I like the lion in here. Buster Moon pretty much is scrambling to get his musical together. And this wolf guy was probably unnecessary. But all around, Sing 2 was solid. It is slightly better than the first one, but not anything groundbreaking. Next on here is Malcolm and Marie. So I'll just say Malcolm and Marie, 38.
I would just say the numbers as they are now.
Yeah, 38 is Malcolm and Marie. Malcolm and Marie on Netflix. John David Washington and Zendaya. This is definitely the year of Zendaya, that's for sure. It literally is a toxic relationship. Just watching this movie, and it was filmed during the pandemic. It's all in black and white. The performances carry this movie. Zendaya is probably the best in it, then John David Washington. It's literally a toxic relationship from start to finish. And it threw a lot of people off. Some people didn't like it, but I really like Malcolm and Marie. It was one of my favorites at the start of the year, but obviously better movies came out. 37, Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's heist zombie movie. This movie was badass. I really enjoyed Army of the Dead. And Batista is the best part of this movie. Batista was really great in here. And I really like the safe cracker guy, and his movie will be coming up very soon. He was really funny in here. And it's a zombie movie at the same time. It focuses on the zombies as well as this heist mission. And it's Zack Snyder awesomeness. This is awesome Zack Snyder. Army of the Dead was really entertaining to watch. 36 is Army of Thieves, which I think is slightly better than Army of the Dead. The safe cracker steals the movie. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, guys. But Army of Thieves was entertaining. And it literally is a simple heist movie. They're cracking safes all across the world in a great comedic way. And I love just how well written this film was, how quirky it was, and weird it was at the same time. Like, something about it worked for me, slightly better than Army of the Dead. 35, it's going to be Gunpowder Milkshake. Gunpowder Milkshake, one of the badass female action films of last year. You got Karen Gillan, Leah, I forgot her name, Cersei from Game of Thrones. You had, I'm forgetting, and great cast to it, great action. The third act gets really like John Wick, but it finds a really good, nice footing in the first two acts. Just it gets too much John Wick in the final act, but I really enjoyed Gunpowder Milkshake. 34 is Vivo, one of Lin-Manuel Miranda's great projects. Vivo, you had the monkey in here with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he's literally just trying to deliver the song that his best friend wrote. And it's just an interesting storyline. It's not as great as some other films in Lin's year, but it is solid, and it has an emotional core to it. 33, we're going to talk about Candyman. Candyman was a really interesting film. Yaya was great in it, and it's just I think it was just better than the first Candyman. Like, this had some really good horror to it, and it's just very well directed. I'm forgetting the director's name. I'm so sorry, guys. Nia DaCosta. Nia DaCosta, I can't wait to see what she does with the Marvels. And Yaya was just really great in here. For a Candyman movie, it is solid. 32, we're going to talk about A Journal for Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, Denzel Washington directed the film. Very solid, well directed by Denzel. But Michael B. Jordan's dramatic performance is great in here. And it's just this life about this soldier. And he's writing a journal for his son to come. And it's just dramatic. Very good performances in it. And it's not a rewatchable film at all. I'm not going to rewatch the film ever again. But for what it gave me very good emotion and very good acting to it. And number 31, it's going to be Disney's Encanto. I know some people are expecting it to be higher on the list, but it's Encanto. Encanto's a very good animated movie from Disney last year. I just think there's better animated movies this year. And Lin-Manuel Miranda's songs are very powerful. It's a very strong movie about family, second chances, and giving life all the best you got every single day. And I really love the animation and the world that Encanto brought. It was just a beautiful film.
I still have not seen it yet.
Yeah, you got to get on it, sir.
James Bond asks you, what movies do you think will be the biggest flops of 2022?
Oh, God.
He said Fantastic Beasts 3 and Aquaman 2 he thinks will be flops.
Interesting for Aquaman. The first one made $1 million. I think that's a good prediction right there for, what did he say for the first one?
Fantastic Beasts 3.
That's a good one for a flop. I think the other two weren't big box office grosses. That's a good prediction.
Army of the Dead was awesome. It's basically a George A. Romero movie in Vegas,
yes.
baby. Lena Headey, was that who you were trying to think of?
Yes.
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, yeah.
As for Aquaman 2, I think it'll flop because Amber Heard made people not want to watch it.
Yeah.
Someone asked if I liked Vivo. I haven't watched the full thing.
Yes.
I watched it at work with the kids that I work with, and we didn't get to finish it. So, from what I saw, I thought it was like cute and adorable, but like not one of the better animated films to come out this year.
Mm.
The first Candyman's a good horror classic. I should see the new version. Did you know that Zendaya is going to be in the new 24 Jump Street?
I did not hear this, no.
All right.
That's interesting. I like that.
I'm glad Zendaya is getting all the recognition she deserves. She had a great year.
Oh, she definitely did. She's going to be like one of the biggest actresses.
Nicholas, I have not seen Encanto yet. I know. I have not had the chance to sit down and watch it. Is it on Disney Plus yet?
No, not yet. No.
I'll probably check it out once it hits Disney Plus. What do you think will be the biggest film of 2022?
The biggest, I think the Batman will make a lot. I think Doctor Strange could possibly be the biggest grossing film.
I take Encanto as the best animated movie of 2021. It was mainly about the message of family and overall just great animation and overall fantastic movie from Disney. Wait, they're making another sequel to 21 Jump Street? I guess so.
I did not hear this. This is news to me.
Alrighty, but Ryan, I think we're ready to get through 30 through 21.
I agree. We're getting there, guys. We're in the top 30 right now. Let's get to number 30. Coming in number 30 is going to be The Tomorrow War on Amazon Prime. Chris Pratt, directed by the Lego Batman movie director. And it was a very good movie. I thought it was a very important movie. It's just these soldiers, Chris Pratt's character, he's going to serve in a future war to come. And it's such a cool concept for a film. And Chris Pratt was just really entertaining in here. And I just love just the concept in here. And the storyline, something that happens in the second act that got me emotionally invested. And I was really surprised by how emotional the film was at the end of the day, because I thought it would just be a very generic post-apocalyptic film, but it did something different, and I appreciate that. Number 29, we're going to talk The Power of the Dog with Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, getting a lot of Oscar buzz this year.
You didn't review this one, right?
I did not, no. I caught it up for the end of the year. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was very good in here. I think he'll get nominated for an Oscar. Jesse Plemons, I think he's fantastic in here as well. It is a really good slow-paced Western, and that's what it needed to be. It focused a lot on the story and the emotional core to it. I thought just the scenes in here were gorgeous, some of the best cinematography. I love a good Western, like I said, and The Power of Dog was a solid one. Now we're going to talk 28 Ghostbusters Afterlife. One of the most surprising films of last year, because harkening off the name Ghostbusters again just sounded like a big cash grab. The 2016 Ghostbusters was atrocious. Ghostbusters 2 is not as good as the first one. Like, you can't duplicate Ghostbusters. And Afterlife was a really good Ghostbusters movie again. I thought Jason Reitman did a great job directing this movie. And Paul Rudd was hilarious. I love Paul Rudd in here. McKenna Grace steals the show. And it did fan service right. Like, it brought all the classic Ghostbusters back. It had the great action and the classic nostalgia of Ghostbusters like we wanted. Ghostbusters Afterlife. What a big surprise it was. Now we're getting to 27, and that is The Guilty. One of the most surprising films of the last year. Jake Gyllenhaal as this phone dispatcher guy, talking on the phone, and he's literally talking to all these people out in the world in the LA area that are either getting hurt or murdered, and he's having this long conversation with this one woman who gets kidnapped, and it's literally the most suspenseful film I've seen last year. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is great. I've not seen the original. I gotten a lot of comments from that. It's just such a great movie that totally surprised me. 26, we're going to talk about Cruella. Cruella comes in at 26. Probably one of the better live-action Disney remakes. I don't think it's the best one, but Emma Stone was very good as Cruella de Vil in here. And it is just like an origin story, like of her becoming Cruella de Vil. I don't think it needs a sequel. I think it is getting a sequel. It's just a really dark as well as comedic film. Cruella did what it needed to do, and it totally surprised me at the end of the day. I thought I would hate it. 25, let's talk Coda. Coda comes in at number 25. It pretty much is this sign language movie like this, Sound of Metal was in 2020. And it's a very good movie. It's a very emotional film at its core. Bring the Tissue Boxes. It's definitely one of the more emotional films of last year. The performances are so good in this movie. It's very well directed. I don't think it's going to get a lot of Oscar hype. I hope it does get some nominations, like for screenplay. But Coda just absolutely works, and I really enjoyed it. 24 is The Night House. Night House, probably one of the best thrillers of last year. And I want to give a shout out to Rebecca Hall. She gives a fantastic performance in here. Such a great horror film, an original concept for a horror film, which is very rare these days. It's really dark. It really has a dark twist at the end. It just probably is one of my favorite horror films of last year. 23 is The Harder They Fall, a Netflix original Western film. Jalen Samuels, he did a great job directing this movie, and what a cast they got with Idris Elba, Regina King, Jonathan Majors, RJ Seiler. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but a great cast in this movie. And of course, Delroy Lindo, legend. I love Western movies, and this one had a great concept to it, great script. Love the tribute to Chadwick as well. Great, badass, gritty, awesome Western. 22 is The Green Knight, A24 epic from David Lowery. Dev Patel, really great in this movie. Definitely one of the best shot films of last year. I hope it lands a cinematography nomination. The Green Knight just is a film that's not for everybody. Not everybody loves the film, but a lot of people love it. I thought it was really solid of a film. Again, it's just not a rewatchable movie. That's why it's number 22, but I thought it was just a great movie. And finally, at number 21, before we get to the top 20, we're going to talk Pixar's Luca. Cody's mad. Luca didn't crack the top 20. But Luca was a very sweet movie. Really fun animated movie. Luca and Alberto, one of the best friendships in Pixar. Silencio Bruno. It's an emotional movie as well as a fun hangout movie. I really like Luca. The ending is emotional. Would you agree, Cody?
Yeah, it was very emotional. I was really surprised. It is beautifully. It's beautiful too.
Very beautiful movie. It was a fun hangout movie. That's what I enjoyed the most about Luca. It comes in at number 21.
All right, so I guess Encanto is on Disney Plus. It came out Christmas Eve. So
Didn't it?
I'll have to check that out very soon. Is Spider-Man No Way Home your favorite Spider-Man movie? Jai Hunter asks.
I wouldn't go that far yet. I would still say Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 2 are the better ones as of now.
Avatar 2 and Jurassic World, I think, will make a lot of money, or Black Panther. Are you dreading seeing Fantastic Beasts 3?
Not dreading. I'm just not invested or not as hyped as some people are.
So the house that Hulk built said the power of the dog is that low at 29. Well, the house that Hulk built, you got to think about this. Ryan saw close to 130 movies this year. So for that movie to land in the top 30 is definitely really good. Yeah. Ryan has seen a lot of movies this year. So for it to still land in the top 30, that still means it's a very good movie. So I don't know how many films you saw this year, Hulk, but I think that's really good and deserving for sure. Mm-hmm. Ryan, are you looking forward to Avatar 2?
No. I'm just not. I just don't care about these Avatar sequels.
Do you think Andrew Garfield would be good in another Spider-Man film?
Yes, because he's a great actor.
The Harder They Fall is also the name of a Humphrey Bogart film. Coincidence?
Maybe.
Another person brought up that Delroy Lindo was snubbed for the Five Bloods.
Yes, let's not talk about that.
And what is your favorite scene in Luca for both of you? I'll let you start, Ryan.
I think I would say the ending. For sure. Yeah. I would say the ending.
That's a good choice. The train, when they hug each other and he leaves and he goes off to school. Yeah, that was a really touching moment for sure. I'll say that moment too. The ending was, I got almost a little teary. I almost teared up.
All right, you ready to get to the top 20?
Yeah, I think we're ready to get into the top 20. Let's see how many likes we're at. We are at 20 likes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for getting to 20 likes.
If you haven't yet, hit that like button.
Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We're getting to the end, guys. Let's get to the top 20. We're going to go 20 through 11. And if you saw my best list, you already know what these movies are.
But that's fine.
But that's fine.
Might not have.
Coming in at number 20 is going to be Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya and the Last Dragon was a very good Disney animated movie. I loved just the action in this movie. I thought it was great in animation. Kind of like Avatar The Last Airbender just meets Karate Kid in that aspect. I just love the action in it. And what's her name? Kelly Marie Tran. She's very good as Raya. And it has one of the more sympathetic villains with Gemma Chang. And beautiful animation. Tuk Tuk, one of the cutest animated characters. Just a great, badass movie with a good emotional heart to it. All right, now number 19 is going to be Free Guy. Free Guy was such a blast. I love Ryan Reynolds in here. His comedy totally works in this movie. It is a really cool video game type of film. Taika Waititi was pretty over the top, not as great, but everything else about Free Guy was really entertaining. I love the Chris Evans cameo in it. Absolutely hilarious. Free Guy just gave me what fans wanted and what I wanted. Just really fun fan service and good video game vibes. Number 18 is Pig. I finally saw Pig, and what a movie. Just what a weird concept for a movie. I literally thought this was going to be another John Wick ripoff, but it totally wasn't. Pig totally surprised me. Nicolas Cage, phenomenal in this movie. He should be considered for Oscars. He won't. But I thought he was great in here. Just a dark movie. Just what a sad first act. Like, you feel so bad for this guy, but you want him to get the absolute great revenge. And it has one of the more interesting third acts of the entire year. And a brilliant acted scene at the diner. Oh, so great. Pig totally surprised me. I love that I watched it. Coming number 17, one of the more controversial films. I don't care what people say. Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up. I really like Don't Look Up. One of the more interesting social films of last year. It had a lot to say about politics, but it was also this end of the world thing coming as this comet is about to destroy Earth. And it's an Adam McKay movie. Like, what did you expect? It's Adam McKay. He does this type of stuff. And it has such a great cast. Literally the biggest cast of the year. And let's talk Leonardo DiCaprio. He loses his shit in one scene, and it's awesome. Jennifer Lawrence was really good in here. I thought I was not going to like Jennifer Lawrence in here, but she was great. And I love the comedy. I love that they poke fun at certain things, and it's a very important movie to today's standard. I get why some people didn't like it, though. Number 16 is West Side Story. Really great musical. Steven Spielberg made a better version than the original, in my opinion. Great songs in it. It is a weird romance, I will say that. Ansel Elgort and Rachel Zegler. I thought they both were fine separated, but together didn't fully work for me. But I really love the dance in West Side Story. 15 is Belfast. Kenneth Branagh. Let's talk Belfast. Such a great movie. Love Belfast. One of the best scripts I've seen in a while. I really hope it is the front runner for Best Picture. Kenneth Branagh, such a great director. He shows it in this movie. Jamie Dornan. Let's talk about Jamie Dornan. You may know as Christian Grey in the 50 Shades movies. He's great in this movie, and he's not a terrible actor at all. He's very good in this movie. And Judi Dench. I freaking love Judi Dench in this movie, and it's such a realistic film with a great message to it. If you have not seen Belfast, you need to watch it. 14 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Thank God the Snyder movement, release the Snyder Cut movement happened, because literally Zack got to make his vision, and this was leagues better than the Whedon Cut. Like, everything that happened in the Whedon Cut can just be destroyed forever. Zack Snyder made a masterpiece of a film. Like, this movie was great. Did it need to be 4 hours long? Definitely not. But every character got their moment, especially Cyborg. Greenlit a Cyborg sequel, but they won't. 13 is Tick, Tick, Boom. Lin-Manuel Miranda, excellent direction. Andrew Garfield, excellent performance in here. Very emotional, very good music in it. I hope it gets a lot of Oscar love. It's an emotional movie, so bring the tissues, Cody.
I'm ready.
And it's just a powerful movie. Tick, Tick, Boom really surprised me. Number 12 is probably the most polarizing film of last year, No Time to Die. No Time to Die gave me what I wanted for a final Daniel Craig Bond film. Was it way too long? I agree, it was too long. Was Safin an underwhelming villain? I would say he is an underwhelming villain. Not Rami Malek's fault, it's just the way his character was written. But I was so satisfied. Love Daniel Craig in here. Love Ana de Armas. She should have been in the movie more by far. And let's talk, I'm blanking on her name, Captain Marvel. She was great in here, the new 007. Great movie. I just love No Time to Die. The ending, I get it. Some people didn't like the decision that happens in the third act, but I loved it. I was crying. No Time to Die. It was great. 11 is The Last Duel. Ridley Scott, this is where I want to see Ridley Scott do more gritty, awesome movies like The Last Duel. Matt Damon, Adam Driver, but God, why am I blanking on people's names tonight?
You've seen a lot of movies, right?
Is people saying, what's her name from Captain Marvel?
No one has said the name from Captain Marvel yet.
Lashana Lynch, that's her name. But sorry guys. Jodie Comer, she should be getting way more love than she's getting right now. She's fantastic in The Last Duel. Something happens in this movie that really surprised me, that shocked me to my core, sends shivers down my spine. And that's what I want to see from a Ridley Scott movie. More brutality like this. And The Last Duel, is it a long movie? Yes, but I was not bored 1 second watching it. And that's 20 through 11.
Nicholas Lloyd really wants to see Raya and the Last Dragon. He asked what your favorite scene was. You're in the Raya and the Last Dragon, your favorite scene?
I think
I like that fight between the first fight between Raya and the villain.
Second fight for me.
First. The one where they're like hiding in that camp and then she comes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that fight.
I like the second fight, my favorite.
All right. Zach Pope popped in.
Zach Pope, what is up, buddy? Happy New Year.
He said, what's up, everyone?
Shout out to Zach Pope.
What's up, everyone? Great stuff going on here, Ryan.
Thank you, Zach. You too as well, buddy. Happy New Year. Congrats on all the success that's happening on your channel. Go subscribe to Zach. I'm sure you guys already are. But, yeah, anything else?
Is Free Guy your favorite video game movie?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Free Guy is my favorite.
Would you predict that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie sequel will outshadow Fantastic Beasts?
That's hard to say because we're literally just got into 2022. I can't judge.
We're hours in.
We're literally, yeah.
Michael asked what you thought of the post-credit scene in Don't Look Up.
I thought it was great.
Nice.
I don't know how much to say.
Let's see here. Is your old Blu-ray of Justice League in the garbage, Ryan?
It's not in the garbage.
The No Time to Die wasn't as good as Casino Royale or Skyfall, but it was better than Spectre and Quantum of Solace. I thought it was a very good film.
I agree with that.
The only 007 I didn't like was Die Another Day.
That's my least favorite Bond film.
And with that, Ryan, I think it's time to get into your top 10.
Alrighty, let's get to my top 10. Woo! Then we're finally done, guys. Here's the top 10. All right. Coming in at number 10, Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm shocked it stayed this long, but it's such a great movie. Love Judas and the Black Messiah. Daniel Kaluuya, thank God he got his Oscar. Very well deserved. Love Fred Hampton in this movie. It's such a powerful movie. Very good performances in it. Lakeith Stanfield. It kind of is similar to The Departed. I know a lot of people have said that in their criticisms, but no. Lakeith Stanfield was so great in this movie. He definitely deserved his Oscar nomination. And I want to shout out another performance in here. Dominique Fishback. She was also fantastic in this movie. But Judas and the Black Messiah, very powerful film. Happy I got to see it at Sundance early. Thank you to Zach Pope, by the way. Number 9 is A Quiet Place 2. Quiet Place Part 2. Very excited to see it going in. I love the first Quiet Place. And surprisingly, I liked it a dash more than the first one. Emily Blunt, you had...
John Krasinski directed.
Yeah, John Krasinski directed it. Millicent Simmons, Cillian Murphy, Noah Jupe, great cast in it, and Jaimon Hunsu. Great sequel, but I think the best part about it was it focused more on the kids as well. Millicent Simmons stole the show. Noah Jupe he had a great arc as well. And I love that they were the forefronts, especially that ending of the film, which was really good. I just love Quiet Place 2. The opening was probably one of the best horror openings I've seen in a while. So good. Loved Quiet Place 2. Number 8, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Great MCU origin story. Simu Liu, badass new character to the MCU. Great action. The kung fu was so good. The third act gets a little CGI heavy, but it has one of the best top tier villains in Wenwu, and just great new characters they could bring into. I can't wait for the sequel and that new series that Destin Daniel Cretton is doing. Number 7 is King Richard. Will Smith definitely needs that Oscar right now. Very good dramatic story about the Williams sisters, as well as Richard Williams, such a controversial figure. It dives into some great drama and a very good performance from Will Smith. I was so emotionally interested in this movie. Number 6 is Dune. Denis Villeneuve's epic. I love Dune. Is it a rewatchable movie? Not as I hoped it would be, but Dune is a great world. I can't wait for part 2. Chalamet was fantastic in here, but I think my favorite character was Duncan Idaho. Jason Momoa is a badass in here. Javier Bardem, I wanted a little bit more from him. Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, very big cast in it. Great action, great visuals. The sandworms were epic. And Hans Zimmer's score, I hope, is a nominee for Best Original Score. Top 5. Number 5 is Last Night in Soho. Edgar Wright really shows his ways back in the horror genre with great performances from Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy. Thomasin McKenzie steals the show in here, and it gets really interesting. Some great cinematography and production design. And it has my favorite plot twist of this year. I love the third act in this movie. And it's pure Edgar Wright suspense. Like, this movie was suspenseful from start to finish. And I loved every minute of Last Night in Soho. Number 4 is The Mitchells versus the Machines, my favorite animated film of last year. Probably
my favorite movie of the year.
Probably the biggest surprise I saw last year. I knew nothing about this movie going in. All I knew was that Phil Lord and Chris Miller were producing it. And I was blown away by this movie, guys. This movie was so great, so funny. This family is so likable. I love Katie. I can relate to her a lot. She loves movies, and she's a content creator. Who can't relate to her? The family is pretty much the forefront in here, especially the father and daughter. They have a broken relationship, and they're trying to fix it. And the comedy in this movie is so great, Cody. The dumb robots were hilarious. The dog was so cute. Some great jokes like dog, pig, loaf of bread. And the villain is Olivia Colman, and she plays a cell phone. So freaking funny. And it's a robot apocalypse movie all at the forefront. I love this movie. I cannot wait to revisit Mitchells versus the Machines again. Number 3 is The Suicide Squad. James Gunn makes a Suicide Squad movie his own. And it was so great, so hilarious and entertaining. Introduces some great new characters like King Shark, my favorite character of last year. Sylvester Stallone. Why can't King Shark have his own show? Why can't Bloodsport have his own show? But it has to be Peacemaker. But I love Peacemaker. John Cena was great. And Harley Quinn was good, but she wasn't like the forefront like I hoped. But it was all about the new characters. And Polka Dot Man was great too. I really enjoyed Suicide Squad. Definitely one of the most entertaining films. Number 2 is In the Heights. In the Heights. Thank you to Cody for introducing me to the Broadway musical.
You're welcome.
But In the Heights, probably the best summer movie I saw. One of the most rewatchable films I watched last year. In the Heights was so great, guys. This movie was everything I hoped it would be for a movie adaptation. Anthony Ramos was great as Usnavi. I love Corey Hawkins as Benny. I liked Leslie Grace as Nina. And I liked Melissa Barrera as Vanessa. Great cast in it. And it had great music, great dancing to it. My favorite number in the movie was 96,000. What about you, Cody?
Wow. That's so hard. You know what? I'm not so crazy about Carnival de Barrio in the play, but I loved it in the movie.
The movie, yes. That was probably my second favorite scene. But yeah, In the Heights totally swept me off my feet. Definitely my second favorite. But easily number 1 is a film called Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home is number 1. You guys obviously knew it would be number 1. Like, Cody, this movie did it. Like, this movie was such a groundbreaking film. Great fan service in the movie. Should we say it or no? I think, has everybody seen the movie?
Just in case.
All right, you guys, I really wanted to. But Spider-Man No Way Home, great conclusion for Tom Holland in the MCU. Like, This is, I think, the trilogy of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man, but the next trilogy will be him in college. But I loved how they balanced all the villains with Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, and Electro was funny, and Lizard. But yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home, probably like the best audience experience and the best third act of the whole year. So yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home, #1, easily.
All right, there we go. June and the Black Messiah was powerful. Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield should have tied for Best Supporting Actor.
Huh? What?
Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield should have tied for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, I think Daniel deserved that Oscar by himself.
Brian, have you seen The Devil Rejects?
The Devil Rejects. I have not seen that one.
Maybe Will Smith will snag that trophy. Superhero fan says Quiet Place 2 is super overrated. I didn't care for it that much. That's just his opinion.
Yeah.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch should win over Will Smith. I think it's cliche with Cody to have animated movies as his favorite movie of a specific year. Well, Nicholas, it's the only movies I watch. Musicals and some MCU movies. So.
Yes, that's what you...
I think Mitchell's versus the Machines was a masterpiece. I need to see it. You heard it was. It's a great movie. Yes, you do. What scene do you love the most from the Suicide Squad? Said Jai Hunter.
The scene when King Shark sees all those fish in the tank. New friends.
Yes, the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Ryan's top 3. I'd rather see a buddy cop comedy series with Ratcatcher and King Shark, but have a positive expectations for Peacemakers. Ryan, what is your favorite musical?
Favorite musical is In the Heights, #2.
Nice. Let's see here. What did Cody think of No Way Home? You and Zack have the same #3.
We do, yeah. Zack saw it like 10 times.
I love No Way Home.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. Just fan service galore. Just fan service galore for sure.
Oh yes, no problem, Nicholas. I saw you haven't seen it yet. No Way Home.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We don't want to spoil anything for sure. But I loved it. I loved it for sure.
Oh, I loved every minute of that movie.
Ryan, you should watch The Devil Rejects. Let's see here. What was your theater? Okay, well,
do not spoil it. Do not spoil No Way Home.
Yeah, he got. Rid
Someone
of
hasn't seen it.
We got rid of the comments. We appreciate
No.
it. But it was just everything you would want.
Everything you would want.
It's just it was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And stay for those end credit scenes. That's all.
Stay for those end credit scenes for sure.
What's your favorite musical of all time? I think they meant to ask you.
I think it's Wizard of Oz.
Classic.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Classic for sure. But I think that's a good point to end it, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a good point to end it. That's it, guys. That was the entire ranking. Every single movie I saw in 2021. 125 movies. We powered through it in almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 47 minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite movies of the year are. Let's have a great discussion about it. As far as upcoming videos go, tune in tomorrow. The final 20 movies will be announced for the 90s Decade Tournament. As you guys know, especially if you don't know about the 90s Decade Tournament.
I got rid of it. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's coming up. It's myself, Zach Goler, Patrick Burrow, Austin Putnam, and John Burns from Burns Reviews. We will be live a week from tomorrow, January 9th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be a fun stream and a long one. Grab the popcorn and come join the fun that night, guys. And videos coming up. I know there's a new movie, the 355.
Yeah.
That's a new movie coming out. I'll be seeing that. But yeah, look forward to upcoming videos, guys. Thank you for tuning in. All my social media links are in the description below. Happy New Year once again. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.